Okay, I'm doing two parts. So this is part two, because 24 minutes was getting too... As soon as it's longer than 20 minutes, I'm like, holy shit. Anyway. Mm. Mukbang, gulp noises. Okay. So, yeah. Fruit emojis, please. Peach emojis. Actually, I can't say that at the top of the video. I'm going to have to make it something else now. But anyway. So yeah, the final 7 vote. I was told it was unanimous on Belle. I was not surprised, because Belle had said Rocky's name, and that felt silly to me. But yeah, ultimately, I really tried hard to get Rocky to vote with Belle and J-Ro, and me, and then that would have been enough. But it just didn't work out that way, and that was annoying. Where was that, by the way? So, okay. I'm at the final 8 in my confessional. If it's 4-3 Belle out, I'll be sad. I was sad anyway, the way it worked out. So yeah, okay. Just voted for Belle. I'm clenching so hard. Oh my god, I was so pissed off that it worked out the way it did. Where is the stuff of me trying to convince Rocky? Okay, here. Yes, so I said that I would vote Belle out at the final 6 if Rocky voted for Dave or Megan at the final 7, and that felt like a pretty good deal, actually. Rocky wouldn't have had to put his life on the line for Rox at the final 6. And it's also, yeah, Dave, Megan, and Brooke, I'm scared if they have half the votes at the final 6. I don't think they'll turn on each other. Lo and behold, they didn't. So, yeah. I was going to flip on Belle and J-Ro, but Rocky didn't see that, and I think he also was spooked that Belle had said his name. But I'm sure Belle was just saying anything to try and survive. And then I was also explaining how, like, I didn't feel confident in the game. I was sad that Bethany left. And then Rocky, of course, was also feeling sad when Bethany left. And we kind of realized after Bethany had gone that we could be each other's new Bethany. And so it's kind of been good for us that Bethany went in a weird way, because Bethany was like top 2 allies for both of us, and we didn't know it. And so we kind of we trauma bonded over Bethany's funeral in the game. So yeah, anyway, that was my proposal. And then Rocky was like, it doesn't make sense for me to vote for Megan or Dave. They had my back on the Bethany round. The thing is, Rocky did not wake up to the fact that he was the 4th person in that alliance. And so it was really convenient and good for my game that they decided at the final 7 to vote out J-Ro for some reason. I think, yeah, they overplayed and they got greedy, and this is the sort of things that I was talking about at the tie vote, and the reasons I was saying it in the tie vote was not only to prove and ensure that Rocky would vote with us, but I mean, of course he was going to, because he wouldn't have made it a revote situation. He would have just directly voted out J-Ro at the start of the round. Like, it would have been a 4-2 vote, no revote, if Rocky was going that way. Oh, Rocky's typing. What the fuck? That's so random. Oh my god, no, Rocky's... I was like, Rocky's typing, what the hell? This is a photo. Oh my god. Anyway, I was like, why is he awake at 4 5 8? I don't know what the time is. It's 11 p.m. for me right now. I'm all over the place. Okay, yeah. I was so glad that they voted for J-Ro. So the tie vote, yes, that's where I was. The fact that they said we voted for J-Ro at the final 7 to save Rocky was so stupid to me. The fact that they even did that was so stupid to me. If Belle had an idol, why would she be targeting Rocky? She would have idoled out Megan or Dave. Absolutely. If Belle had an idol, she would have played it on Sierra, probably. Belle and Sierra were like the duo of the season in their season. They made it the whole way through. Like, that's like, is that Wayne's season? It is, right? Monokuma. I know it was Eve's season. Love Eve. And Waffle. Waffle was really cool in Mirrorg, actually. Anyway. Yeah. I love Eve. I never forget, Eve and I did a sequester together. No, a Traders game. Was it the Traders? With Justin Sky. I remember, yeah, it was cool. And did I murder Eve? But she's great. Anyway, oh my god, I'm digressing. Someone's gonna have to watch this. I mean, you can skip through. Please put me on. I'm sure you put me on 2 times speed. Yeah, the tie vote. So, oh my god, sidetracked. ADHD, autism. So yeah, I wanted the jury to see how silly of an overplay it was to vote for J-Ro. I had to spell it out to Rocky that these are the reasons again why you need to stick with us. Of course, he was doing that anyway. And I'm sure that the tie vote, the fact that J-Ro was trying to lobby, it's probably left Rocky questioning how close J-Ro and I are and how much we trusted that Rocky was going to vote with us, but it's fine. I was kind of just arguing for the sake of like, no, I can actually hold my ground against Brooke and Dave and Megan, actually. Didn't appreciate them arguing so much. I didn't appreciate Megan's tone and laughter and stuff, and like the humorous vibes she was giving off. Funny, they were so funny in the Tribal Council Final Six because it's kind of like just totally throwing jest to all of the gameplay that J-Ro and I and Rocky are putting forward, and it's doing it in front of the jury as well and making light of that. It's like not fun. And then the first thing that Megan says in my DMs afterwards is, "Wow, you were really mean." I was mean. I was mean. Yeah, I was mean, but I feel like you were catty. Like you were snarky. You were underhanded. At least I directly was like, "Yeah." And then Megan also, I was like, "Yeah, directly, yeah. These are the reasons why you need to go, and why I'm voting for you." And then it's also just kind of explaining to the jury like, if Bell was eliminated unanimously, Rocky's probably voting for J-Ro at this vote. And then it's, another fine vote and it's chill. It's also how, Megan wanted Bell to stay. Megan had ulterior motive there. So I've learnt now anyway. Kind of validated the facts that I was pointing out at the tie vote. So that was interesting. And yeah, just how is there an idol at the final 7? It doesn't make sense. It felt like they really got a bit egotistical and a bit big for their boots by voting for J-Ro at the final 7. And like J-Ro said to me today that he nearly voted for Rocky. It nearly was a 3-2-2, and then J-Ro would have gone home. But yeah, the fact that they were saying, oh, it was because we were trying to save Rocky is silly, because Belle was just throwing stuff at the wall. And if Belle did have an idol, she wouldn't have idoled out Rocky. So, but yeah, I'm labouring that so much. It's because it was, of course, sad to see Belle go. I was sad to have voted for her because finally I voted for someone that was eliminated that round, and it was Belle. Didn't feel good. And then I voted for Megan this round, and she didn't go home. So I voted for Eddie and Peyton and Belle in the merge, and those are the only people I voted out. So yeah, not fun. They're all people I've liked. Peyton I've had semi-trust with, but Belle and Eddie I've considered like number 1 or 2 in the game. So, I mean, the unanimous votes at the start of the season really don't count, and I thought that Belle was going to be unanimously voted out too. So, yeah, tragic how little agency I've had with my voting power. It's also how at the final 8 I was like, oh my god, let me make it up. After the final 8, I said to Megan and Rocky, I was like, let me make it up to you. Let me make it up to you, Megan and Brooke. I will vote the way you want me to at the final 7. And so I did, and I voted for Belle. And then, of course, they turn around and it's like, oh, well, we've, manipulated you. So, like, fuck them. The fact that they made me feel like I owed them one after lying to them over the Sarah vote out and me voting for Dave. And then they just turn around and vote for J-Ro at the final 7 anyway. It's like, okay, well, cool, I'm just chopped liver, And it's a theme for me consistent this season, how I've continually felt isolated and cornered. It's always those words, isn't it? It's less paranoia and more just felt like I've been in the corner trying to like swat off dodgeballs all season sort of thing. Of course, I'm still here. I've managed to swat them away, and also question how many dodgeballs have actually come my way, because I don't think people see me as a threat anymore. They haven't since like probably Reese went home. I think people saw me as Reese's puppy dog, to be honest. But I don't know. It's just, yeah. There was definitely a lot of complicated feelings with that final 7 vote. I was at the museum. I was also with Tourist Brain. And yeah, it just really sucked, honestly. It really, really sucked. And then, like, I was saying things in the final seven tie vote. And in the final seven tie vote, I said like, "Oh, does my vote even matter?" Because obviously they'd all discussed it beforehand. And saying things like that, of course, is probably bad in front of the jury, but like, it's also kind of me just poking fun. I kind of say that to just be like, cool, so good job, you guys. Like, whatever. What am I doing here? Like, it's ultimately playing up to my underdog story too, maybe. I feel like I need to really play. I can really talk at the final tribal if I'm there. A bit touch wood about like how I've finally played a social game this season. Maybe less with Brooke, but hey, she didn't talk to me until like final eight anyway, when she needed me. Um, and or maybe final 11 when she wanted me to flip and save Peyton and vote out Sierra, but like I was never doing that. Peyton had come for me pre-merge, and then Megan was holding Peyton back. So anyway, I digress. Megan I've had an up and down relationship with, and Dave I've targeted. But other than those three, I've had great relationships with everyone here. And like the last jurors are always people that vote for their friends anyway. So like, yeah, I don't know. At this point, after the contentious tie vote, it's probably in my best interest to go to the final three with Rocky and J-Ro anyway. Um, so yeah, Megan and Brooke and Dave are going to vote the way they want to vote, honestly. Um, Yeah, and if Rocky wins, good for him. If J-Ro wins, that would be awesome. I've really come around on J-Ro. I think he's really cool. And Rocky is a great dad. Oh my god. Dave's a great dad too. Megan, I don't think Lost is a good show. But yeah, we have our moments. I think she's sweet. But yeah, she's definitely a formidable player, and game sees game. And oh my god, I need her eliminated. Especially after our relationship's kind of blown up, and after this vote, she's learnt finally that I'm against her. We've been playing this like will they won't they targeting frenemies vibe all season. Anyway, final six vote. Yes, the one that happened this morning. I was pissed off at the start of the last episode that Megan and Dave were so cocky. Apparently, Dave and J-Ro had a deal that they were going to not vote for each other. And what happened was that J-Ro sent me a voice memo where he was like, yeah, so Dave messaged me saying that I'm sorry I voted for you, but I didn't vote you out. Apparently that changes the deal, which is so the nerve and gall and gumption and audacity dot taste dot gif of that. Like, holy shit. Underscore taste dot gif of that is just ridiculous. Cocky bastard. And then, yeah, Megan, I hate the phrase, oh, I was just playing the game. I'm just playing the game. I've never said that. I will never say that. Oh, I'm just playing the game. You can't fault me for playing the game. Yes, I can and I will. Yes, I can and I will. I will absolutely fault you for playing the game because it's not the point. The point of, oh, I'm just playing the game. It immediately it's such a like straight man diffusing the conversation and diffusing your needs and diffusing your intentions statement, you know? It's like, oh, can you do the dishes? And then suddenly he's like, hey, you want to go for a walk? In response, like, no, fucking talk about the dishes. You know what I mean? Like, it's so diffusing and in such a negative, passive, aggressive way. When someone's like, oh, I'm just playing the game. You can everyone's playing the game. Like, yeah, you don't have no one's faulting you for being here, you know. What they're faulting for you is how you're playing the game. Right? And that's the nuance. Saying, oh, I'm just playing the game is just like, it's saying like, fuck you, shit happens, deal with it. It's saying cope. And that just, it lacks grace to me that at this point in the season especially, and this gargantuan season, all-star caliber, I just expect more nuance to people, regardless of, across the tribe. I'm like, why are you saying I'm just playing the game? Megan said that to me, and then it came up a lot. Megan said that to me at after the final seven, and it really left a bad taste in my mouth. And it just felt awful. And then of course it came up a bit in the tie vote today with J-Ro saying, and Dave and stuff. Oh, you're just playing the game, but then you're faulting us for voting for J-Ro at the final seven? We are, because we're faulting your approach to, like, it's not the fact that you made the move, it's how and why you did it, right? Like, do what you feel is right. I'm never, you don't have to apologize for that, but like, you do have to face the consequences. So yeah, that's my brief rant. Probably not brief, but that's my rant on when people say, I'm just playing the game. Like, no fucking shit you are. Do you want to quit? Like, otherwise, why are you, anyway. Yeah. Brooke has said that she wanted me in the final three, so that was cool. I think she thought I would lose. Maybe. I'm gonna always think I'm gonna win, but like, yeah, good luck. And then Rocky has said that he wants me here. J-Ro and I have decided, like, J-Ro is like my ride or die for the end game, which is wild. I would never have believed that in episode one. We've had such an amazing plot line. It is incredible. As Coram pointed out on my trust ranking, to go from 11th, the person I trusted the least at the start of the merge, to now final 7 onwards being my closest ally is just bonkers. Yeah. But yeah, God, I've just, since my last videos, felt so like betrayed and useless at times, and I've just really had to pick myself up every single time afterwards. Losing Sarah after putting my neck out for her, losing Belle, and this J-Ro vote happening. I At the final 6, I haven't even mentioned, as a colorblind motherfucker, winning the color challenge. Oh my god, it took me so long. I was like, the brightness on my, I was adjusting shit. I was locked the fuck in. I felt dizzy after the hour that I did it. I had square eyes, you know? Square eyes for the gay guys. Like, it was bad. The pink and the grey, so hard for me to work out. And I'm just so proud of myself that I was so anal about it. Because holy heck, just really had to lock in. And it felt so good to win. I was so shocked. I woke up and was so shocked because the challenge was announced at like 6 a.m. my time. I was so shocked that I won that challenge. I couldn't believe it. And like the greens, oh my god, there were so many different green. Oh, I was very glad that there was one red and it was bright default computer red. And I know from my Excel sheets that or Google Sheets that it was that color. But yeah, I felt it. I was feeling it after the challenge. And I was so glad that I won. I couldn't believe it. And it led to the rocks because yeah, I don't know if I probably wouldn't have gone to rocks. I'm not a rock star. I'm more a Brit. No, I'm definitely a rock star out of BB20. I digress. And then yeah, loved my Wellington trip. Had a good time. And it reached us to here. It was really cool how Rocky, J-Ro, and I made this alliance, and we kind of coordinated our approach to the round. That felt really good. Pope Francis died. And here we are, finale. And I'm just so glad to be here. It's so cool. It's actually crazy. It's actually crazy that I'm still in the game. And I've been pouring myself into the season, so oh my god, I cannot wait to not play orgs after this. I'm so excited to see what all the spectators have been saying and doing. Talk shit about me, that's fine. That is fine by me. I'm kind of impenetrable at this point. I'm sure people have said worse things in my confessional about me that I don't want to hear, but that's fine because, like, it's a game. And I'm not going to fault people for saying their shit. And, like, confessionals are a safe space. Mine is. It's where I go to vent about the game. So my worst is where my confessionals are. And, of course, that's historic, and now people can see it. So, ultimately, I have, a lot of love and faith and all that stuff, grace for the players that I've been playing with. Because, God, it's been 5 weeks at this point of the season. It's an actual Survivor season length. And it's mighty. It's so big. Tomorrow morning actually noon for me, is this Fallen Comrades challenge, which is essentially like the best social player wins final immunity, or penultimate immunity. And so that's interesting. It feels like a Big Brother crapshoot veto challenge where anyone can win. And that's fine because, yeah, if Megan or Dave wins, then I'll just vote for the other. Um, and hopefully then I'm in the final four. It's so cool to have beat my placement. It's so cool to be representing my original season. Because God, I just, yeah, the fact that like, I mean, Josh Romeo could have played this season because he did Motion Viper, but then also Jenny is hosting Motion Viper, so I get it. It would have been cool to see either of them here. And actually thinking about the final seven vote, it's so similar to when Saf was blindsided in my original season, 331. Or Max, 331. And we questioned that move, and then it led to the demise of the people that made the move. And look at what we're seeing here. 331, you've got to be really careful, because, like, you're ultimately kind of ostracizing people and you're creating a tie vote for the next round, right? We've seen it again. So, and it definitely isn't lost on me that maybe Brooke should have flipped. Like, we definitely were kind of entertaining that option. And she could have, I don't know, she crashed out, and I feel bad for her because she was giving similar vibes to me in Final 8 as, her now, at this round. So that was sad to see because, like, she was obviously really struggling with what she was going to do, and she was feeling two ways. But then ultimately, I mean, there was a moment where I told Brooke that I wanted Dave out, and she told Megan before. Megan had messaged me being like, "So you told Brooke that you want Dave out." Megan had messaged me that before Brooke had even replied to me. So, like, Brooke was prioritizing Megan anyway, and obviously Dave too then because they voted together. So, yeah, whatever. But yeah, the fact that Brooke blanked me and ghosted me again on her way out, like, she didn't message me the last half hour of the vote today. It's probably testament and representative of our relationship this season because she's just not messaged me at all. She's really thrown me aside. And it's weird because Brooke is someone that has had great social positioning, I feel like, this season, but clearly I'm not someone to care about. I hope to win the season and prove that wrong. It's weird to be dreaming about reaching the Final Tribal Council. I see the path there to the end for me. And yeah, it's, God, just been a roller coaster. I cannot stress enough. I thank production so much for putting up with me, especially and my time zones and stuff. And anyone who's been spectating and watching me, I've put so much into this game as everyone else has. This is an hour-long podcast at this point, so I hope that this catch-up has been nice between you and I. I'm not a YouTuber, but yeah, I kind of also just needed to vent and rant, and let it all out. It's much better for me to just chat, because I'm an audio sort of person. So yeah, I'm in my bone suit, by the way, as I like to call it. Anyway, the final five. So I'm here. I have my underdog story. I had little social agency, but I'm still here. I stood up for my allies when I guess I shouldn't have, and I feel like that should be rewarded. I won immunities, and I won puzzle bets that I had auspicious suspicions and weird vibes with after my original season, and I won spreadsheet art when I'm colorblind. Incredible. What else? I've survived so much. I've been voted for the Panini vote, the Nick vote, and the Addy vote, and then I'm still here. That's so cool. And then I don't think I've actually received a vote since then. I really nearly did with the Reese vote, and from there I've had new lease in the game because Reese was my closest ally, and yeah, it was so advocating for me, and I hope he continues to advocate for me in the jury. But yeah, I'm like, I've had such wild imposter syndrome and self-doubt, but I'm an all-star, I'm here, I'm surviving, and that should be rewarded, I guess, my journey, my emotional journey. And like, I'd like to say I'm pretty charming, that I can woo people over. And yeah, where I lack in strategy, I've played a social game, and so that's been really cool for me because I never call myself a social player, but here I am doing that. And J-Ro is someone who he survived having his name written down probably the most in the merge at this point. And has just been, he was blindsided when Wayne was voted out, and has just soldiered on. And at 18 years old, I think it's really impressive. Rocky has played middle. Rocky really regrouped well after Bethany was eliminated. Rocky survived Redemption Island and is now back here, so that's probably positive for Rocky. Oh my god, what an underdog story in that sense too. However, underdog not so much, because of course Megan was the sole vote for Rocky to go, and Megan had that idol play, and that's so impressive. But then she's been kind of mean, you know. She, of course, turned on Reese when Reese gave her half the idol that kept her off Redemption, and so that feels pretty villainous to me. And then Megan, like Dave, has voted right every time. I'm sure they've had so much agency strategically. Megan has won immunities, I think. I don't know. I've not been making a chart, and it's been kind of nice. I told myself I wasn't making charts because I'll be too in my head about it, and that's so true. I only made the trust rankings chart because I don't need trust rankings anymore when the season's over, or at least it nearly is. So, oh, that's weird. The season's nearly over. And then Dave, I've tried to target Dave for all the season, and he's just still here. He is someone who I think has played a really strong strategic game. He's called shots for sure, and that's definitely not lost on me. He has that idol that he played successfully and no one knew about, and that's crazy. And so, yeah, thinking about the final tribal council cases, I think Megan and Dave are the ones to go. Megan probably has made villainous moves, and Dave has definitely had his moments too, but I think Megan's strategy would outweigh the social negative. And that, at least with Rocky, you know, I would want to win myself, but yeah, I mean, I'd be happy to lose to anyone at this point. I shouldn't say that. I would be sad to lose to anyone at this point, but I don't know, maybe also this tie vote means that I'm kind of locked in and have to go with Rocky and J-Ro, because it'll be such a story for Dave or Megan to make it to the final tribal council after losing the rock draw and being on the wrong side of that. So, yeah, but that's kind of the things that I'm weighing up at final tribal. I don't know who people would lean at in the jury, who they would wanting to go for. You know, I have bonds with all of them, as do everyone. So, it is what it is. I'm just happy to be here at this point. Okay, I've spoken for enough. I hope this video saves as well. It's nearly half an hour long. And yeah, that's kind of been my recap of the second half of the merge. Thank you so much for watching. Yeah. I'm looking at myself instead of here, so please save. Please save. Now I feel weird to end the video. Oh my god.